Hey folks, Darren again with my wild card predictions and some scenarios. Um, just want to say good job on your picks last week, John. My buddies over at I Formation on YouTube. Um, I too went 15-1. The Lions kind of kicked me in the butt. I expected a little better from them, but oh well. However, on the good side, if you watch my last week's predictions, I was right. San Diego Chargers took the number 6 seed, just like I predicted. I told you it would happen, and I was right. Now, enough slapping myself on the shoulder with kudos. It was a good week. I had a good week, I will admit that. And some of my predictions were pretty bold, however, completely accurate. This week, week 1 of the playoffs. Let's start off with Saturday's games. We have the Kansas City Chiefs at the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts have looked sloppy for about 3 or 4 games there. They really look bad, but they've started to come back around. Same goes for the Chiefs. They've been pretty sloppy the last 5 or 6 games. Remember, this is a team that went 9-0. Okay? And they finished the season 11-5. That means they went 2-5 in their last 7 games. So, question is, who's going to look better on Saturday? In my opinion, it's going to be cold in Indy. The Chiefs are used to playing in the cold. The Colts are used to playing in the cold. If the Chiefs defense shows up, then it should be no questions asked. The Chiefs should win this game handedly. On to the 8 o'clock game, New Orleans at Philly. I just watched all the NFL.com previews, all of the TSN previews, all CBS, every single preview, and everybody is picking differently than me. So I'm going out basically on a limb and making my bold predictions because I believe opposite of what these NFL commentators believe. The Saints haven't been very good this season away, but the Eagles haven't been very good this season, last season, or the season before at home. They've won 1 game in 15 at home. It's not a very good track record. Their defense looked shoddy against the Cowboys last weekend. And their offense was sputtering until the 4th quarter. They didn't do nothing since the last thing they did was the beginning of the 2nd quarter, and they didn't do anything again until past the halfway point of the 4th quarter. Nothing. 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. That's all they did. Are they going to be able to stop the Saints offense? I don't think so. Are they going to be able to outscore the Saints offense? I don't think so. I'm taking the Saints by big numbers. I think Drew Brees is going to put up some really big numbers with no INTs. I have a funny feeling Nick Foles hasn't been an INT quarterback this year, but I have a funny feeling the Saints are going to pick him off a couple of times. Call me crazy, like everybody has been the past couple of weeks, but keep this in mind while you're calling me crazy. I have 40 wins in the last 3 weeks. Tabulate that. And I've made some really bold predictions. Remember Arizona? Remember the Bills? Remember the Jets last weekend? I made some pretty bold predictions, and they've all come in for me. That said, like I said, I'm taking the Saints over the Eagles. Next, we have Sunday's games. My Chargers against the Cincinnati Bengals. Andy Dalton has yet in 3 years to throw a touchdown in the playoffs. But he has 5 interceptions, 3 of which were pick sixes. San Diego's defense looked really bad at the beginning of the year, but they looked a lot better in the last couple of weeks. They didn't really look really good against Kansas City last weekend, but everybody's entitled to a sloppy game. Over the last 6 games, in my mind, San Diego has been the hottest team in the NFL. They've beaten 3 of the best teams in the NFL. One of them twice. Okay? And I don't care, controversial, oh, should have been a penalty, should have been this, should have been that. The bottom line is, Suckup missed the field goal. That's the bottom line. I don't care about the penalty. Penalties have been missed all season long that meant more than that. That were bigger penalties that should have been called that weren't. Okay? The bottom line is, no matter what, Suckup still missed the field goal. You can't rectify that. Anyway, that said, the Bengals haven't looked very good in the last couple of weeks on defense. Their offense has been putting up some big numbers. But the last couple of weeks, they've gone up against teams who have no defense. That said, I'm taking the Chargers in this game. Not by much, maybe a field goal. Maybe. But I'm thinking that Rivers is in the spotlight right now, and he's going to shine. The 4 o'clock game, San Francisco 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. Every single analyst I've watched today has said the same thing. Oh, praise Colin Kaepernick. Praise Colin Kaepernick. You know what? The 49ers have only beaten 2 plus 500 teams in the last 6 weeks. Okay? And they're, 3-5, I believe. Every above 500 team that they've beaten, or every team that they've beaten, has been below 500. And they almost lost to the Falcons. Okay? They almost lost to the Cardinals. And they didn't put up very many points. So, is Colin Kaepernick that great? I don't think so. Whereas, the Pack are fully healed. Randall Cobb is back. Aaron Rodgers is back. I'm sorry, but I can't see the 49ers beating the Packers at Lambeau. It's not going to happen. Say goodnight. See ya on the golf course. Packers are winning this one. Those are my picks for round 1. And as you can see and hear, I went against every analyst on every site I looked at. If I'm right, which I think I'm going to be, listen and learn. I'll see you in round 2. Have a good week. Ciao.